There, Jerisha Hawk here. With the new year quickly approaching, the new year is here. I know a lot of you are probably in the process right now of looking to hire your next business coach. And I'm really excited about that, mainly because one, having the right coach on your team really does position you to have exponential results in your business. And I had created a free guide for you guys, but before we talk about that, when you think about every great athlete, they always had really, really great coaches. And, last night I watched Coach Carter. I don't know if you guys are a fan of Coach Carter, but I love those feel good sports movies like Coach Carter, Remember the Titans, or what have you. And it's just as I was watching that storyline, you look at this team that won 4 games out of 22 in the previous season, and he ended up taking them to the championship the next year. And it's really what positioned that team to be able to, go from 0 to hero. And it's they had the same players, they had the same athletes, but the unique difference was they had a really, really great coach. And, even when you think about real life basketball, right? You think about the legends, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. If you're a LeBron fan, I'm not hating on you, but let's talk about the original, the OG legends, Michael and Kobe. What is the one thing that both of those players had in common? They both had a really phenomenal coach. They had a winning coach. And if we talk about Phil Jackson understood the game of basketball. Because first and foremost, he was a player himself. He played 12 seasons of professional basketball and won 2 championships during his professional career. After he actually retired, that's when he went on to be head coach of the Chicago Bulls. This is where, Michael Jordan and their dynamic came in. And he took the Bulls to 6 NBA championships. Then he transferred over to the Lakers, where, Kobe and Shaq dynamic here, and took that team to 5 NBA championships. I'm hashtag winning all day long. And it's even though Kobe and Jordan and, these individual teams had amazing talent, to get to the next level in their careers, to get to the next level in their winning careers, they needed to be coached. And there's a difference between you knowing what to do to get it right and being so good at something that you can't get it wrong. And the right coaching is the bridge between those two realities. So, if this is the year that you really want to take your business to the next level, you want to replace your salary, you want to double your revenue, you want to experience, a result that almost feels unattainable, exponential, out of this world, then you need to be coached. But, I know with the internet being the way that it is, and pretty much anybody now can go online, update their social media bios and say, hey, I'm a business coach, hire me. It can be really difficult to weed through the fakes and the phonies and actually find a legit coach who has proven processes that can help you win and succeed. So I've put together a list of 20 questions that you can ask, or that you should be asking when you're looking to become a business, looking to hire your next business coach. And one thing that's really cool about this list of questions is if you are a coach yourself, you should be thinking about these questions and knowing, self-evaluate yourself as a coach. If this were a potential client, how would you answer these questions for yourself? But I'm going to give you guys a couple of the questions right now, because I think it'll be really beneficial for us to just go through a few. But if you want to get the full list of all 20 questions, you can visit jerishahawk.com/guide and download it there. It's completely free. But these are some of the questions that I think that you should think through when you are looking to evaluate whether or not the coach you're thinking about hiring is actually legit, whether or not they're really qualified to be able to help you. So the first question is, what is their niche or area of expertise? And this is a question that you should be evaluating your potential business coach on. And primarily because anybody can slap the label and say, I'm a business coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a health coach, I'm a whatever coach. But you want to make sure that they are not trying to be all things to all people, that they're actually specialized in a specific aspect of business. Or a specific result in regards to how they help their clients achieve their goals. So you want to make sure that you are hiring somebody who has an area of expertise. Like let's say, if you're trying to experience radical results or have a transformational experience this year in your business, you do not want to hire a generalist. You do not want to hire somebody who's broad and who's all over the place. So that's one of the very first questions that I specifically ask to or look for when I'm hiring a business coach is it clear what their area of expertise is? And if it is not clear what their area of expertise is, it's almost a red flag to me. Because if they're, again, you don't want to hire, like when you're hiring a business coach, typically it's a 4 or 5 figure investment. We're not throwing around chump change. We're not throwing around, we ain't got money out here to just be losing or wasting. So you want to make sure that you are hiring somebody who is specialized, who has a focused area of expertise. And it's really like their methodology and their framework is designed to help guide you to a very specific end result. So the second question I like to ask is how many different programs do they sell? And this question might be counterintuitive because I think when as clients, a lot of the time experts are out there telling you that you need to be selling 4, 5, 7, 10 different offers. And one thing about me, when I'm hiring a business coach, I want to work with somebody who is not trying to be all over the place. So the question of how many different programs do they deliver is a very vital one, because if you're hiring a solopreneur, which a lot of us are, and there's nothing wrong with you being a solopreneur in your business, but if you're hiring a solopreneur as a coach who's selling more than 2 different offers, I just caution you to be aware. Because as an individual, there's only so much any one person can get accomplished and focused on in a day. So if you're hiring an individual who's a solopreneur, a small business owner, but they're trying to, cater to 2 or 3 or 4 different audiences, trying to solve 3, 4, 5 different problems, you really have to think about, does their capacity even make sense for what it is that they're trying to deliver? And if there's a disconnect there, you're going to experience that as a client. So if they are pulling themselves in multiple directions, trying to fulfill multiple deliverables, the ball is going to get dropped somewhere. Whether that's on you, whether that's on their personal life, the ball is going to get dropped somewhere. So that's just kind of an area of caution. If I'm hiring a solopreneur or a small business owner to help me, which I think is actually really smart to do, because a lot of the time they're very, if they're experiencing similar things that you want to experience in business, they're closer to the reality of what is really required during that season. So they can give you more practical, real-time advice to help you overcome some of those barriers or challenges. But you want to make sure that they're not out here trying to do too much, because if they're out here trying to do too much, how do you think that's going to impact your client experience? So that's the second question I like to ask. And thirdly, I'll give you guys one more question here that I think will be really beneficial, is how many clients have gone through and completed their program? And I think a lot of the time when, as a buyer, many of us, we look for certain things when we're trying to make a buying decision. We like to look at results. We like to look at what are their testimonials. But one thing that I've came across and noticed in the wild, wild web is sometimes coaches will, pick through 2 or 3 star students that they've had over their past 2 or 3 years that they've been in business and keep promoting those same testimonials. And the reason why I say, this is a question that you should be asking, is how many clients have gone through and completed your program? How many clients have gone through and completed your process? Is because enrolling a client is one thing, right? There's people out there who are really, really, really good at marketing and sales. They're really good at getting people in the door. But getting somebody in the door versus actually helping clients achieve the promise on the sales page are 2 different metrics of success. And when you're hiring a business coach, you don't want to just hire a coach that's really good at marketing. You want to hire a coach that understands marketing, understands how to enroll clients, but also understands how to get their clients consistent results, right? Because, in our world, especially in the online wild, wild web, people can have really good copy, really good marketing tactics, but it's like, does their process work? And does it work consistently? So you want to pay attention to the quality of clients that are actually completing their program and getting results promised in comparison to the number of clients that just enroll. And this is where I think those metrics can be skewing. A lot of times we're like, oh, this person signed up 100 people, or this person signed up 1,000 people. And I'd rather work with somebody who has a less number of total clients enrolled, but a higher percentage of clients who get the result that's promised on their sales page, or that they promised me or talked to me about during their sales conversation. So those are just 3 of the 20 questions I think that you should be asking your business coach, or asking during the analysis or the hiring process when you're looking to get a business coach. And like I mentioned, if you want the complete list of 20 questions that you should consider when hiring and looking for a business coach, just visit jerishahawk.com/guide to download that for free. And I will talk to you guys soon.